Hey guys, today is Monday, June, what is it, June 18th or something like that? Well, either way, today's Monday, June, whatever it is. Welcome to another episode of JustCasual Vlogs. I'm totally lost in where I am in this thing because I've been recording a few of them and they just keep messing up, whether it's like bad audio issues or recently my phone, because it was so hot and sunny and having this phone on my dashboard, it actually overheated and just turned off. So I don't remember exactly what's been released and what hasn't. So let's just give you an update on what's been going on for the last week. I've been settling down a little bit. I think I've been pushing super hard and I've taken a little step back and I'm okay with that. And it's just been more of a life balance thing, taking care of family issues and personal responsibilities. Like, my place is becoming really messy. I haven't been really taking care of myself. I haven't been eating as well and stuff like that. So for example, yesterday I played 5 hours of League of Legends and stuff like that. So I mean, all those things are good and I kind of needed it. I've been going to bed a little later, but waking up a little later, and it's kind of keeping me refreshed. I decided that I still want to play a bit of League because I feel I don't like talking about League when I haven't really been in it much, and it affects the podcast, the Lola podcast, and that might not be my current biggest push right now, but at the same time it's growing a lot, and I can't just forget about it. I really enjoy it. It's my baby, and I don't want to just put it aside, and I don't want to stunt the potential growth that we're having. I've gotten some few solid, consistent audio or video editors now, which has been a rarity for building the Lola podcast. We'll see how those still stick. We put out a lot of video content recently, so I'm really excited about what's going on with the Lola podcast, and I think there's some big things that are happening now. And just the amount of time it takes, I'm going to be definitely cutting back the amount of time I spend on the Lola podcast because I think I spend too much time on it with the rest of the things I have to do. So I have to cut that back and figure things out. And then, what else is it? What else? There was something big I wanted to talk about too. Oh, so with this Immortal podcast idea, I think it's good, but to be honest, I think I have to cut it. I think I'm gonna talk to the guys and be like, hey, if you guys want to do this, I'll help produce it. This is the idea, and if you guys can do this idea, maybe I can pay for it. I don't exactly know, because I think they're really good talent. I just don't have the time to deal with it, or I'm just not willing to make the time somehow out of my day just with what I have to sacrifice to do it. So I think I got to contact those guys back and let them know, which is really unfortunate because I think it's a really good idea, especially now that Yahoo eSports went under, or they closed down Yahoo eSports, so there's gonna be even less content because that was a huge hub for this kind of content. Yeah, that will be very interesting to see what comes of that. I'm really excited to see where all that talent is going to disperse into. Yeah, that's really exciting. But especially this summer is going to be incredibly busy. So I'm really just trying to focus on the Weldon Green podcast, the Lola podcast, and then just maybe a small side project every now and then. I think I just really want to focus on doing a really good job and learning what I can from those few projects and build up my ability and credibility and success, because the Lola podcast is bringing in we're getting 1,400 downloads, which is incredible. We've doubled in the last probably year, which is awesome to hear. Yeah, we've doubled our listener rate, which is awesome. And I see good things happening with our listener base and with the podcast. So, but to be honest, 1,400 is not a big number. Like, it's huge. I'm really happy about it. But it's not a big number when it comes to the success of things when you show it on paper. And I need to prove that, like, hey, the Lola podcast is able to do, like, be this big and do this. To really show my credibility if I'm looking for, like, other opportunities and stuff like that. So really need to work on that. So I think I'm gonna just narrow that down and make sure, like, the Weldon Green podcast is great because I have a huge listener base, a following base that I could rely on, which is really, really convenient for me. And then there's also the fact that it's kind of in the eSports industry. Like, I'm, like, striving to do something and I'm kind of already there. So I just need to, like, put a lot of effort in there. So I've been trying to make social cards. I'm kind of, like, trying to figure out, like, how do I do this creative? And I think I'm trying to get too fancy. And I need to be, like, faster. So if I have X amount of time, just, like, put it out. So I've just been, like, grabbing the video from his YouTube channel, and I might do some, like, text, like, I don't even think I'll do, like, that much text, like, art. Just, like, quick, like, boom, 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 like, for the question. Nothing, like, fancy where, like, turning, like, the text is turning and fading in and fading in. It's just gonna be, like, simple dun, 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 dun. Like, to be a closed caption for the visuals. And they just need to be, like, 45 seconds long. So I was like, oh, I gotta make a trailer for every episode. I gotta, like, highlight. No, it's like, just find one for each episode, 45 seconds. And you know what? The first episode, I'll do that. The second episode, I'll do that. The third episode, I'll do that. And I'll get good at it. And I'll have some more ideas. And then I'll be like, oh, by the time I get to the 5th episode, I'm going to do, like, this, this, and this. And I'm going to put out, like, 3 cards. And the 6th episode, I'll do this and put out 3 cards. Like, so I have to keep thinking about this kind of stuff. But I need to, like, just go. Like, I don't need to have, like, an amazing product right off the start. Because what's going to happen is that's going to slow me down and slow down my experience and exposure. So that's what I really need to do with the Weldon podcast. And yeah, I've realized that I've been kind of putting it off because I've been trying to be too fancy. And you guys have heard, if you guys have been following me, you've heard me talk about being fancy. It's like not exactly the best thing to do. Because it ends up slowing you down. There's times to be fancy, but that's when I'm, like, good enough to be fancy. So just keep it simple, keep it short, and I'll probably find some really good progress because I do that. So I'm looking forward to that. What else is there to talk about? I think this is one of the vlogs that got killed, but now that the Weldon Green podcast season 1 is over, what next, right? So like I mentioned, I'm going back over the season 1 and going through some social media, like, trying to make shareable social media content so we can, like, advertise it a little better. Then after that, I'm planning on, after that, we're trying to start season 2 up. Weldon has not been responsive to me, which really sucks. I know he's busy, so I don't even know if he's recording stuff for the EULCS like we've been doing for season 1. I've been asking him to, but I haven't heard any responses. I should really bug him, because season 2 is going to end up being, like, me and him talking. So we'll have, like, an hour episode where we talk about a specific topic, maybe, like, tilt. At least this is the vision. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it's going to be, but I'll talk to him and we can go, like, deep into it, right? So the thing about the Ask Weldon show is, like, it was grabbing a whole bunch of random, like, snippets or small snippets of a topic and trying to make, like, a cohesive, like, detailed story about everything we need to know about tilt. Didn't happen. It was just, like, 5 questions, and maybe those questions got really deep. Maybe I can take, like, some of the answers and fit them in there to make it really cohesive, but otherwise it's like there's content that wasn't made specifically for what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to fit it into that hole, right? It's like using, you know, those kids' toys where it's like a circle and you're trying to put, like, an oval block into it and it won't fit. Like, that's what I was doing, and I was, like, shoving it, or, like, putting a puzzle piece that doesn't fit and just, like, smashing it until it fits. That's what I was doing. So season 2 is going to be more like one-on-one format, and then one-on-one interviews. And then as for the format, it might require some heavy editing. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to have to play with that. But my guess is to keep putting out, like, content, because I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. I really think that we have to I really think, what was I gonna say? Shoot. Wow, my brain just totally farted. I had something good to say too, guys. So, oh my gosh, like it was really important because of talking to Weldon. Oh yeah, because Weldon is like super busy, and I feel like I'm not gonna get as much time as I'm supposed to have with him, or that we are planning on having. I think what we're gonna do is like I'm gonna take a lot of his YouTube's content right now, and sorry, I'm like looking for a parking space. Take his YouTube content and just put it back on there, just because like I really like having a video version and an audio version of everything, just because for ease, you know. So that will fill in like a few weeks as I finally get to meet with the Weldon, because again, this summer is really, really busy for me and some trips. I don't know when I'm gonna have the time to do a lot of this stuff, so that's why I'm cutting back on a few things and just keeping it chill. Alright, that's the update. See you guys later.